Hey, everybody, welcome to episode 2 of Tide Talks. Today's topic is deliver a warm greeting.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Javon, and we're back. Just like Jeff said, we're talking about chapter 2, deliver a warm greeting. And I just want to just talk about a snippet that we caught. You guys probably seen it on the chalkboard post this morning. Shout out to that. But I just want to read it, and then we're going to expound on it and then explain it. And it says, the moment of first contact is perhaps the most crucial yet underappreciated stage of meeting someone new. And before words are exchanged, within the first few seconds, judgments are already formed. It's so important to be mindful of how your approach comes across, because first impressions really do impact the whole interaction. For it is within these fleeting moments that you can build rapport or have walls erected against you. So, Jeff, I say we just dive into it. When it comes to the warm greeting, right? How pivotal is that? As we just read, but how pivotal is that when it comes to building community and also building relationship with people you don't even know?
Yeah, absolutely. I think right away we make judgments in our mind off the bat with people, what kind of handshake you get, whether they look you in the eyes, things like that. So, delivering a genuinely soft greeting will bring somebody's guard down right off the bat.
Mm,
So one example I do have is I was at Starbucks. This is Hal. It's on the website. It was one of the interactions. And when I was there, Hal was a gentleman that visibly had a stroke. He was disabled and he was moving around, but I noticed he was real nasty to the staff. He was not polite at all.
yeah.
I wanted to repurpose some of the principles with Daryl at that time, test it out. So I walked around the corner near a napkin where he was standing. And the first thing I wanted to make sure is that I had my chest out, but I delivered a soft, really good hello, looked him right in the eye. It was very polite and in a manner and spoken out to where somebody wouldn't be in defense mode right away. Not that somebody would be right directly in defense mode, but I think that having understanding in our mind that first impressions are important, and then being in a state prior to meeting somebody and having that positivity, that radiating that positivity and a combination is really setting you up for a
Mm,
successful interaction.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, I would even go as far as to say, when we're talking about presentation and we're talking about representation, it's literally the moment you walk through the door anywhere, right? Unfortunately, some people they're already judged based off what they look like and different things like that. But the beauty about the human, right, is that we also have a spirit. And I think the beautiful thing about that is that you're able to connect with people's spirits and just feel them for a moment. And just having that interaction with people, like, I think people need to shy away
Mhm.
from looking at the outward appearance and really looking into the soul of people. And I think the best way to do that is just greet them with love. Like, love will literally, like, just cut through so much friction, so much, disappointment, how people are feeling. So let me ask you a question, Jeff. When it comes to you going out there and speaking to people that are less fortunate, how pivotal and how serious, I would say, and significant is love when it comes to interacting with people?
You nailed it. I mean, it really is the key component. If you're delivering a
Mm,
soft greeting and you aren't really in sync with the person, or you don't care, or you're maybe angry or anything like that, it's not going to matter. And you're absolutely right. When you walk in a room, that vibe, that feeling,
yeah.
whatever that is, you have the ability from the inside out to create your own and actually change an environment from the inside out. So it is pivotal, especially in the homeless community, when people do not feel like they're wanted, when they don't trust anybody and they're not used to it. They're just simply not used to somebody coming up to them politely, introducing themselves like they're a normal person and having a regular conversation. Even if
Mm,
somebody's a little off, I'll stand there, look them right in the eye and treat them like an individual and a person. Sometimes I'll just pretend like I know what they're saying, just to
yeah.
show that empathy and that someone cares. So, man, that deliver worm greeting right up front to bring someone's guard down, it's clutch, man. It's key.
Mm. Yeah, which is, the saying that I love is people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Right.
Oh, I love that.
And and that's really the thing that I think people need to get is that people want to know how much you care. And guess what? That comes with the sacrifice of denying yourself, right? Because pride and arrogance and self seeking desires will prevent you from even caring about a person, right? So you're looking at their outward appearance. A warm greeting doesn't even matter because you're looking past that person and you're focused on you. When in reality, I think the warm greeting comes when a person is present in the moment in every place that they go. So no matter what environment that you're in, I think when you're present in that environment, right, where you're fully aware, you're not on the phone, you're not standing in line at coffee having this full blown conversation,
Yeah.
but you're present with your environment. And through that, I believe that you can fill the room and you can see who, God wants you to speak to. So I would say, when it comes to that, I think we as people can literally change a whole community, can change a household, can change any environment, just having that awareness that's leading to that warm greeting. Jeff,
Yeah.
let me ask you something. When it comes to the opposite of that, right? When it comes to not a warm greeting, but a cold greeting, right? What do you think that, like, how does that play on a person who is dealing with like so much trauma or like so much disappointment in their life while they're living in this condition? Like, do you think like a cold greeting, like basically what can that do to a person, I would say, that's going through it?
Worst case scenario, that
Mhm.
person could take their life.
Mm. Yeah.
You actually, everything we say to each other matters, Javon. Yeah, it's that serious right now. And it's important because so many people are sad in the streets and depressed. If you approach somebody negatively, you don't know what kind of state they're in. If they have no money and if you yourself had no money, you were hungry, maybe you were addicted to drugs, you never know. Maybe you are blessed enough with a life where you have things, you have air conditioning, things like that. Right now, this week it's 100 degrees outside and people are
Yeah,
up.
man.
So
Yeah.
that negative response can make them feel subhuman, like they don't exist. And if they're in a particular state of feeling lonely, you could have just sparked them to do something that will harm themselves, worst case. Other than that, they could feel just bad. And, they're so used to it. Think about how you would shine.
Mm.
Think about how you would set yourself aside apart in this transactional, boring world we live in anyway. You might as well get after it and make a
Bro.
really positive impression. And what you'll find, it'll open up things that you didn't think that person either was into, is as a person, who they are. It'll open up a whole thing, and there is an energy to it. There's a spirit to it. And when you connect to that spirit, the person's heart, you'll learn and you'll grow, and the wave will still keep
Mm.
going as long as you respond to it. But there'll
Yeah.
always be challenges and there'll be a low tide too. So, greeting and intentionality prior that this is a human being in front of me is very important, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Which literally ties into the whole aspect of like you really have to love yourself before you start giving out all of the warm greetings and different things like that, because you really start to see a lot of people don't love themselves, man. A lot of people don't like themselves. And these are everyday people that go through these challenges. And it's like somebody's always going through something, right? So when it just comes to that, you're like, man, the world is just jacked up because so
Yeah.
many people either haven't forgiven themselves for certain things or haven't felt the love, as a child, and now they're grown and, you know, they don't even expect to give what hasn't been given to them or
Yeah.
they have never experienced. So I think, just having that transformation within oneself that, you know what, man, like I am loved, right? I'm loved by God and people do want me in this world. And I think giving that to people who feel a void in their life
Yeah.
through a warm greeting could change the whole deal, man. So,
Yeah.
whew.
Yeah, no, absolutely,
Listen,
man. You're on fire. I completely agree. I think when you get filled up,
hmm
it spills over. It really can. And I agree with everything that you're saying. I think I do think it's up to us to encourage
yeah,
everybody else. And there are tools and there are principles you could utilize, which we're also working on incorporating the wave maker, where you can get to your purpose. And like Javon said, self-love and self-care is the first step. Health is wealth, time is money. So when you're working on yourself first from the inside out,
mm,
that's when you'll know that true change will start up. If you
yeah,
incorporate that with paths to the person and start implementing some of these principles, wait till you see how your life starts to change.
come on, that's it.
It can be
And
very transformative.
bro, and I think our slogan is great. The path is to the person, and when you're focused on the person,
Yeah.
that's when the greeting comes. That's very warm, and it can completely change their life because they feel what you're giving. And I think that's the best thing ever when it comes to somebody who's in need. So,
Yeah. And if you think about it too, everything else is not from you. It's from
mm,
somewhere else that's programmed us to be even thinking that way anyway, that you shouldn't approach
come
someone.
on now.
What is the reason why you may even think about somebody or not want to approach them anyway, right? It's because of things that we've assumptions that we have, things that we've done, experiences. But I'll tell you what,
Mhm,
when I broke that barrier, because it was a
mm,
barrier, CJ, that episode, I can't remember which one, I called it breaking the barrier. There was a reason
yeah.
for that because I knew it worked.
Mm,
I'll tell you, it's something else when you do. And we really, that start up front, looking at somebody like they're human with that warm greeting,
mhm,
who wouldn't really want that? I mean, if somebody comes up to you immediately telling you what you shouldn't be doing or telling you to leave,
mm,
why, how would you react, Javon? Go.
yeah. I mean, honestly, I think when you're not looking for any reward, this whole deal changes, right? I think many people are looking for something in return so much, and a lot of that is our Western ideology. Ideology, living in America, you're like, okay, if I do this, I'm expecting something. But I think those that are of God, listen, no, we're doing this. I love because He first loved me, and I just want to extend that to you, whether you receive it or not. Listen, this makes my life better. And I think that's the beauty of having, wave makers like us, right? That
Yeah.
that help mentor people into seeing the bigger picture. That is yes, it's about the person. But as you're serving, you yourself is changing as well. You yourself is getting transformed.
Yeah.
So I think people need to understand that when you do good deeds and you do this stuff, stop looking at what you can receive from them, but look at how you're transforming as a person and making your life better.
Yeah,
Um,
complete. It's flipped. It's backward. If
mm,
life were a video game right now, and you were going through it in that video game, you have to figure something out to flip it, either to get out of a challenge or whatever you're doing.
yeah.
This is just kind of like that, except it's not what you expect. You end up getting rewarded when you're not looking for a reward,
Yep.
and when
That's
you're
it.
serving other people, because that's what we're put on earth for. The warm
Um,
greeting is what we're here for, because we're here for relationships.
mm,
So, it's something that is so important to keep that in mind. And I'd really recommend looking into ways to improve that skill if that's something that,
mhm.
you have taken down things to learn this for the year or next year or something like that. You know?
100%, man. 100%. So listen, this was chapter two. And it was good, man. Like this one was a good, following the chapter one. Like this really puts people in perspective of something that they can take action on. So I'm excited about this, and that's it, brother. So
Yeah. And guys, let us know. Let us know what you're thinking. Comment. We're looking to hear from you. We want to know what your thoughts are on all this, and also if there's anything you want us to speak about. So I love this, so we're going to keep this going. I think
uh,
this is great, Jam, and I appreciate you and your perspective.
yes, sir.
All
Let's do
right,
it.
number two, done
Let's
deal.
go.
Take care, guys.